Now, let's look at business news. The government is establishing cold facilities near lakes to boost fisherfolk's earnings through the sale of fresh fish. Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria says the cold shed project, which begins next month, will be headed by fisheries cooperatives offices, offering the much-needed market connections and price regulations.
The beach management units were early this year converted into cooperative societies in order to transform services provided to fisherfolk. The 445 former beach management units under this revitalization program would be centered around boosting the blue economy, which only contributes to around 4% to the gross domestic product. The government believes the poor earnings could be tied to traditional methods of fish preservation, which drives down the value of fish.
There are quite a number of interventions, not just the cold chain, but the cold chain is just a beginning, but there will be a number of other things that we will do, including a modern landing site in Turkana. So all that combined would be approximately around 1 billion.
He says through a multi-sectoral approach, Kenya could get more commercial value out of fish from lakes.
On how we could work on getting more commercial value out of the Lake Turkana, and from that angle, gradually the planning and the interventions have broadened to also integrate elements of renewable energy, elements of food security, the fishery itself.
The pilot stage of the cold chain projects will begin at Lake Turkana.
Yes, there is an initial study, and we have a report of the same. And it is through that study that has made these recommendations that we are now embarking on implementing. But of course, because this will be an integration of other interventions, we will also do another study for the other interventions so that we see how they properly link, with what we have now.
He also notes the cold chains will be fully powered by solar energy to minimize the cost of preservation. In order to boost this dwindling economic activity, the government hopes that harnessing on technology will ensure that the fisherfolk get more from their trade. Hibak Said for Prime Edition.